Hey guys, 4Breaks here, coming to you with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys another mock. This time it's going to be somewhat of a mini mock from the Mandalorian. This, if you haven't noticed, is one of the cutest creations I have ever built. This is of course Baby Yoda from the Mandalorian, like I said. Now, it's not really accurate to scale, as in life scale or to minifigure scale, but it's more or less in between somewhat of a brickhead style and more or less a really realistic figure style. But before we dive in, if you didn't like the content here, please subscribe, and yeah, let's dive straight in. Now, obviously, as you can see, this thing is quite tall compared to a minifigure here. Which I just use a file first because why not? Beautiful looking minifigure, by the way. But anyway, moving the file first trooper out the way, this Baby Yoda is obviously retaining similar design to some of the other Baby Yodas that you will see in the LEGO community. He obviously has somewhat of the stubby arms, which can obviously kind of move a bit. You change the position of them, saying hi or something like that, or using the force, and that's just attached using a couple of these Technic pinholes here, which is just held on by one of these modified bricks. You place that on and yeah, it keeps the nice kind of position upright or in the same position, but in order to add depth to the actual clothing of Baby Yoda, you have a couple of tiles here which are nicely kind of integrated into the design using a 1x3 here as well as a 1x2, just to add a little bit of detailing, saying that it's a coat, basically saying that it's zipped up, as well as the fact that around the edges you of course have somewhat of this nice kind of drag that Baby Yoda has. He has somewhat of this material that hangs out at the back, so I kind of replicated that using a couple of plates as well as a couple of these slopes here, which actually add an awful lot of depth to the actual clothing, and they're obviously held on using a couple of like 1x1 jumpers and you know, just a whole bunch of complex, well not really complex, but like modified bricks, etc. Anyway, so moving on to the actual head here, it's held on by a jumper plate there with a one stud with a couple of tiles run about so you can pose the head. But obviously Baby Yoda's head retains these eyes from the do-back set from a couple of years ago, as well as the fact that his nose is just on a 1x1 tile there with some sort of, I can't really get it, but it's a modified brick there with a stud on the side. There's also a tile here just to kind of replicate the fact that it's a mouth. Let's see if I can get it here, but there we go. There's just a 1x1 tile there that makes sure there's a little line for his tiny mouth. Now, if we get further to the top, there's also a 1x2 tile here, which just gives it a little bit more shape towards the head. Now, the ears here are a little bit well, not really. They used to be complex, but the original design for this had like a couple of these on the side and the front of the head all over the place and things like that. So I just simplified it to one of these Technic holes on a jumper piece here to get that nice ear shape. And it's also using one of these inverted bricks here, which actually do the job very well for Baby Yoda's ears. And then for the back here, obviously to cover up the like kind of Technic bricks, here I just use a 2x3 here on one of these modified bricks, place it on, and it hides them very nicely. And then, of course, if we want to put Baby Yoda's head back on, and as you can see, he's got a bit of articulation in his head. Now let's get on to the final part of this video. So, yeah guys, that's going to be it for me on this video. Of course, if you did like the content you see here, please comment and subscribe. Obviously, I'm really happy with the way Baby Yoda turned out here. The only thing I would probably do is kind of get like somewhat of a more refined area around here and things like that, and yeah, overall just make it a little bit more accurate. But yeah guys, that's going to be it from me. I'm Infernal, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.